Hi, I'm Debbie Ingram, and I'm running for Lieutenant Governor of Vermont. You are joining us for our virtual tour of Essex County. Thanks for being here. Come along. When we look at Essex County by the numbers, we see that it is in the very northeast corner of the state and has not a very high population density. Only a little over 6,000 people live there. The non-white population is only 3.7% compared to 5.8% in the state as a whole. And the percentage of the population living below the poverty line is quite high. It's 15.5% compared to 11%. And not surprisingly then, the median family income is substantially lower, $38,000 compared to $57,000. The median home price is only $112,000, and the gross rent is only $688 a month. So definitely an area of our state that needs some help economically. 106 farms are in Essex County. It's much more of a forestry and waterways sort of area. Essex County in our Northeast Kingdom is one of the most beautiful parts of the state. And one of the most beautiful parts of that county is the Silvio O Conte National Fish and Wildlife Refuge. It was started in 1997 to provide conservation and protection of plants, fish, and wildlife. It covers nearly 40,000 acres and has a variety of different habitats that make it a wonderful place to see wildlife. Northern forest, which is great for migrant thrushes, warblers, and other birds. Rivers and streams where you can see shad, salmon, herring, and migratory fishes, and an internationally significant complex of different kinds of marshes. These great habitats are wonderful for all kinds of outdoor activities, including hunting, fishing, biking, and paddling. Of particular historic note is the Alice M. Ward Memorial Library located in Canaan. It's on the National Registry of Historic Places. It was originally a stagecoach stand on the way from Franklin, New Hampshire to Montreal. It was built in 1846 for that purpose. It was also said to have been the most northerly station in the United States on the Connecticut River route of the Underground Railroad. But then it became a residence where Alice M. Ward and her husband, Dr. Artemis Ward, lived and where the doctor had his practice. When she died, the last will and testament of Alice M. Ward bequeathed the property to the town with the understanding that it would be used as a public library and reading room if desired. The town wisely voted in 1930 by a vote of 120 to 31 to accept the bequest, and it has since been a public library and a residence. Hi folks, I just wanted to let you know that this week we had a little bit of trouble getting an interview with an actual resident of Essex County in time for our deadline to prepare the video. So what we're going to show you instead is an interview that I did with Jamie Murphy, who is actually a resident and very prominent person in Caledonia County. I am well aware that Essex County and Caledonia County are not the same place, but they are both in the Northeast Kingdom, and I asked Jamie about some unique features of being in that region of our state, which he will address. So my apologies for not having an Essex County person, but please listen to my conversation with Jamie Murphy. Please help me welcome our guest for today, Jamie Murphy, who is a sports agent and attorney and a well-known citizen of St. Johnsbury. Thanks so much, Jamie, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So there are quite a number of different roles you played in your community. Let's start with the fact that you were an alumnus of St. Johnsbury Academy. And I'm wondering what your experience was like there and what you believe the school contributes to the community.
Well, yeah, I graduated the Academy in 1990. Probably the most impactful thing that happened to me at the Academy was that I met my wife there. She is a graduate of the Academy of 1991. We're both we're both locals. I'm from St. Johnsbury and she's from Waterford. I don't know, you don't know when you're going through the academy what an impact it has on your life, and you don't know how the academy is different than other schools. You only see that upon reflection after graduating and being out there in the world and seeing how other schools operate and hearing about the experiences other people have had in high school. The 4 years I had at the academy were some of the best years of my life. My wife as well. I met so many teachers that had that left a long-lasting impression on me, that were role models for me. One being Tom Lovett, the headmaster now, who is retiring, football coach of mine and a teacher of mine. When you talk to other alumni, they often say the same thing, just that they met so many wonderful people there that they've stayed in touch with throughout their lives and that have had an impact on their lives. It's just it's a great experience at the academy. And it's, like I said, the one big thing looking back on it was having dorm students there. When you grow up in St. Johnsbury, you get accustomed to seeing the diversity in town because of the academy. And when I was a kid, it wasn't a diverse town. But you saw that diversity near the academy, throughout the town of St. Johnsbury. And the academy brought that there. It brought diversity and culture to a town that's pretty isolated. And on its own at that time, not very diverse at all. You think of independence, I think in the state of Vermont, you think of the Northeast Kingdom. I mean, the Northeast Kingdom is different than the rest of Vermont, or at least we like to think of it that way. We do have higher rates of poverty. We're probably more rural. But it's the area where Bernie Sanders moved to when he was thinking about Vermont and moved up from the city. It's where people come to be independent, and it really requires an independent spirit to live in the Northeast Kingdom. So I think the school matches that spirit. We also knew when we returned, we wanted to throw ourselves into the community. That's why we were moving back, was for that sense of community. My interest really quickly became downtown development. St. Johnsbury has changed over the years, as has most small Vermont towns, or all Vermont towns, I'd say. When I was a kid, there was a lot more activity in our downtown, and I really want to see that return. Luckily, I found a lot of like-minded people in this area, in this town, that have that same vision. So, yeah, I kind of got pushed into a select board position. I showed up at a couple meetings and was told, hey, wouldn't this be great if you ran? And I did, and served on the select board. And I think we did a lot of important things. But yes, my platform was really about downtown development. I've worked hard to see to see some revitalization down there. You could say everything I've done. Not everything. Most of what I've done since my wife and I have returned has been with a big focus on revitalizing our downtown, and it's working.
Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for speaking with me, and really appreciate all that you do for Vermont, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed our tour of Essex County, and please remember, you can vote now. Early voting has started. It will continue all through the month of July and up to August 11th, which is the election day. So please vote for me, Debbie Ingram, in the Democratic primary for Lieutenant Governor. Thanks, and take care.